What's up, besties? Thank you guys for tuning into another video produced, created, and directed by your girl, JACLYN. Now, before we get into this video, go ahead and make sure you guys are like, commenting, and subscribing, okay? And make sure you guys also hit that bell notification button so you're always reminded whenever I post. Now, let's get into the video. So before I get into my makeup look, I'm going to take my LA Girl Pro Concealer in shade Espresso and clean out my fashion statement. So if you know me, if you went to school with me, whether it be in high school or college, you already know the brows was fleeky, deaky, okay? So at this point, there's no excuse for me to have uneven brows, for them to look, you know, not crisp and stuff. So I got to maintain the girls. Now, if you guys want a dedicated eyebrow routine to show you what I use to fill in my brows, how I clean them up, or why I use what I use, then feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will definitely make sure to create a dedicated video for you girls. Okay, so now that my eyebrows are already cleaned up, I'm going to take this brush from Morphe. It's the Smal eyeshadow brush, and I use this to help me blend out my concealer without messing up my brows or anything, just because it's small enough to kind of like get really close to the actual brow without tampering with my masterpiece. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and did the first eye off camera just so you can see what we're working with, or what eyeshadow look we're going to be doing. And I'm going to take my Morphe white base that I got from Ulta, and I'm going to use this pretty much just to neutral out my eyes, because if you are a dark skin or melanated queen like myself, you understand how hard it is to, you know, have colors come up, pigment on your skin, and not be completely washed out because of, you know, your melanin and stuff. You know, your melanin wants to be the star of the show and not let the colors be. But in this case, we definitely want the colors to show and pop on the lid. So to begin my eyeshadow look, I'm going to go ahead and take my E brush from e.l.f. Then I'm going to take my JACLYN Hill palette, take the shade No Joke, and I pack this very close to the brow bone, probably like somewhere on it, but a little under it, just a tad bit. And this eyeshadow base literally did exactly what it was supposed to do, because yellows do not show up on me that often at all. So the fact that this is even showing up as pigmented as it is on camera lets me know that my $8 was well worth spent. Now that I have the first color on my lid, I'm going to take my small blending brush from the CRAYON case. Then I'm going to take My Man from the JACLYN Hill palette again and begin packing this on right under the yellow. So for me or anybody who is dark skinned, it may be wise to start with the lightest color first. You put that on first, and then you put on whatever other color you want to kind of like blend into that afterwards. I found that this trick works a lot best for me, as opposed to putting the dark colors down first and then trying to blend a lighter shade on top, because then it kind of looks muddy, or it's not even as pigmented as you would want it to be. And to ensure that there are like no harsh lines, I'm going to go back and forth between the first brush and the second brush with the yellow and the orange to make sure that it stays pigmented and it's also blended, because you don't want any harsh lines, sis, okay? Next, I'm going to take my medium blending brush from the CRAYON case again. Then I'm going to take the color Living My Best, and I'm going to pack that under the orange color. And same thing that I was doing with the orange color when I was packing that down, as well as the yellow. I'm going to pack it in, and then I'm going to blend it out in order for it to look seamless. Now that all the colors are blended together, I'm going to take my concealer from Juvia's Place in the shade 13. And I'm going to take a flat shade brush or just a flat brush in general. And I'm going to tap that on my eyelid, look up at the ceiling in order to kind of get a guide of where I need to cut my crease at. And then I'm going to pretty much take my time with drawing or carving out this half moon shape or this half circle shape on my lid. That way it gives me a clean and seamless base for the next color to come. Okay, so for my lid color, I'm going to take my M167 brush from Morphe, and I'm going to take the deepest blue shade that is in my Back to Brazil palette. And unfortunately, they don't have any names of the colors, so I wasn't really able to, you know, show y'all or give it to y'all and stuff, but I still could have showed you which color I'm talking about. But it was the second to the deepest blue that was in the palette. And I'm just going to keep packing that on until I reach the certain pigment or vibrancy that I'm looking for. And just so I can blend out the harsh line from the cut crease, I'm going to take my Morphe pointed blender brush in the number 7, and yeah, I'm just going to take that same blue and then just blend out the crease and blend it up into the red color. And of course, you know, you got to go back in with your other colors. So I'm going back in with the red shade and the orange shade and possibly the yellow shade in order to kind of like work my way back up, just to make sure that those still stay vibrant and pigmented. Alright, so to wrap up my eye look, I'm going to go ahead and take my BECCA Cosmetics Champagne Pop Highlighter. And I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to apply this into my tear ducts. And I'm going to use a super small brush that I got from Morphe to apply it to my brow bone as well. And this is just going to make, you know, add a little, give it a little flavor or whatever. Just, you know, yeah, make it a little... And then next, I'm going to take my L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. And as you can see by the wand, it's super small. And I literally love this mascara. I cannot hype this mascara up enough. It does a good job at separating my lashes and elongating them. Next, I'm going to take my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color Milk. And this is pretty much going to prep my lower lash line for the color that I'm going to apply with the same small brush that I used to apply my highlighter. Now to complete my eyeshadow look, I'm going to go ahead and pair this look with a pair of lashes from my brand, Remembrance Collection, in the style Sensual Storm. And if you would like to support my business, or if you like these lashes in particular and want to be twinsies, go ahead and use the link in my description box below. And these lashes would be $10, but if you use the coupon code BFF, all capital letters, then you can get 20% off your order. Moving on to the face, I'm going to take my primer, Milk Makeup Hydro Primer, and I am going to apply that all over my face. This is a really good primer for somebody who may have dry skin. I use this because I sometimes pair this with my BECCA Poreless Primer as well, but this just helps my foundation sticks to my skin a lot better, and it just makes it look a lot more dewy and seamless. Foundation I'm going to be using is my L'Oreal True Match in the color Deep Cool C9, and I'm going to take my Morphe foundation brush to apply and to smooth it out. As for concealer, I'm pretty much just going to use the same exact concealer I used to cut my crease, Juvia's Place in the color 13. I'm going to put a little bit on the inner corner as well as on the side where the ends of the eyeshadow look is, just to kind of sharpen that up a bit. To blend out my concealer, I'm going to take my Real Techniques blending sponge and I'm going to use it while it's damp. It's better to have a damp beauty blender as opposed to a dry, just because it can soak up the excess foundation or concealer. But I'm going to use this to smooth out my concealer until it is my desired look. Okay, so once I'm done applying my concealer and foundation and blending it all out with my beauty blender, I'm going to take my setting powder from Black Radiance in the shade Honeymoon. And this is going to set my under eye and pretty much all my highlighted portions of my face. And I'm going to take the same beauty blender and pack on a decent amount of setting powder. That way, when I press it into my under eyes, it will actually, you know, mute out or take away any fine lines that I may have. And to set the rest of my face, I'm going to take my CoverGirl Matte Ambitions powder in the color Deep Cool 2. And to apply my face powder, I'm going to use the fluffy brush from Real Techniques. And yeah, just do what you would normally do to set your own face. And of course, your makeup look is not complete if you don't put any mascara on your bottom lashes, sis. I mean, you already put the shadow down there. You don't want it to look too bare, right? Right. Now, to add some dimension to my face, I'm going to take my contour brush from, I believe it's from Morphe, maybe not, because it's old, but I'm going to take my pressed powder from Black Radiance in the color Black Coffee, and do not mind how I have it packaged, okay? Mind your business. It broke, and I did not want to buy another one. Now, to apply my blush, I'm going to take this foundation brush from Morphe. It's a large M406, and I'm going to take my NYX blush in Crimson and just apply that to the apples of my cheek. And I know this isn't the right brush you're supposed to use for applying blush, but it works for me. This is what I like. You don't have to like it, sis. Use whatever you want to use. Now for the star of the entire face, I'm going to take my highlighter that you saw in the previous clip, BECCA Cosmetics, and I'm going to take this Morphe Duo Bullet Brush Blush, M536, and I'm going to apply that to the highest points of my cheeks. And look at that. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now, to finish off this look, I'm going to go ahead and line my lips with the NYX eye pencil in dark brown. This is the color that works for me because it's really deep, and any other lip liner that I found just wasn't dark enough for me. So I'm going to carefully, slightly overline my lips and give it a little bit of dimension before I add my clear gloss. And now my makeup look is complete, but of course I need to get out of these ugly clothes to give you guys the real tea on this eye look. Tell me what you guys think. Baby, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video created by your girl. Alright, as you can see, the makeup look came out fabulous. But before we even click out, I want to remind you all to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl. Okay, bestie? Thank you again for tuning in, and see you next time. Bye.